All right. Good evening, everybody. This is Andrew Hartman for Xathlon here, back again, this time with a tutorial video about how to create your own spreadsheet for your team. I've been talking a lot about them. I think they're important. And we had a couple of people contact us asking us how to create them, so I figured this would be a good thing to kind of run people through. Of course, at the top, find us on YouTube, Xathlon. Find us on Twitter at Academic Xathlon. The Facebook page is Academic Decathlon Central by Xathlon. And then on the message boards, Demodec Talk, you can find me and Nick Sinotis going in there, communicating with people and stuff. So yeah, let's get right into it today. I've created a Google Sheet here already, kind of started out a little bit. Created a team of 9 people here, right? And then I have built out, this is, just typing stuff in. This is Google Sheets I'm using right now. Obviously Excel is just as good. And I have built out my team. This is my team of 9. The team we will take to state. I'm just kidding, these are not real people. I'm just created some names here. And I've got 5 quizzes here. Music 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is the quizzes I really want to get their scores for. So the first thing, the 2 things I really want to kind of show, I guess, are kind of how to make averages and also how to make rankings, right? And those are kind of the 2 things I really want to focus on because they're really mostly the things we do. And then also I will kind of show how to link from one sheet to another, right? To show you how that works. So first off, I'm going to create a title for this one. We're going to call it the average, right? And very simply, your best friend in any Excel program is the equal sign. The equal sign is where the magic happens, because that then tells Excel that you are trying to create a formula of some sort. And so then they're going to kind of tie that all in. And so I'm going to type an equal sign here. Right, and you can see already it's kind of acting a little wonky. It's getting ready for what you're going to do. And what we're going to do right now is I'm going to say equals average. And now as you kind of see here, right, as I type in or even like remove stuff, there's a bunch of different stuff that Excel could do or thinks you're trying to do. We're not doing any of these. We're gonna keep going all the way to average. And there's even different ways to do average. Average just ignores text, average A, average if, average ifs. I'm not a expert when it comes to this kind of stuff, so I don't need any of that at this point. If you want to do that, you can kind of fiddle around with yourself. That's mostly how I figured this stuff out myself. Is I kind of just fiddled around with Excel. My mom is also a accountant, so she is also an Excel extraordinaire. So she helped me out here and there, way back in the day when I first started doing these. When I was doing these even, I think when I got into college, just kind of messing around with stuff. So anyways, so you take your average. That's okay. So that's the thing I want. I want average. Great. So then what do I do from here? Well, you need to tell it what data sets that it's going to pull that average from. And for almost everything you pull to pull data from, you need a parentheses. In fact, I think it's almost everything, because everything that you put in this parentheses is then going to be the values it's going to pull, as you can see here in the example, right? A2 to A100, B2 to B100, etc. Right? So for Abe, we're going to start pulling from B2. That is the first tile right here. That's going to be the first music test, right? And then you're going to want to do the colon, right? Because the colon then is an open-ended set, right? And it tells Excel that you're going to pull from B2 all the way to the next point, right? That's what the colon will do. And I'll go all the way to F2. As you can see, if I did like F10, right, that would take the average of everybody on the team for all the tests, right? Which is a useful data point to have as well, if you want. But today we're just going to do F2. Right, and then simply to finish it, I'm just going to close the parentheses right there, right? And there we go. And we got our results, and it's this thing, right? And if you notice, if you can tell what this says hashtag div over 0, exclamation point. All that's telling you is that there's no data in the set, so therefore it can't make an average, right? Because it's dividing over 0, right? It's dividing over something that doesn't exist, which they're implying is 0. So I'm going to change that. I'm just going to boom, look at that. It's average of 1 if I type the 1 into music 1. Let's let's make it a decathlon score. Let's say Abe, he's our honors 1, so he's really good at music. Oop, sorry. He gets a 940 on the first music quiz, right? Look at that, average is 940. So music 2, he gets an 880, right? And you see that average changing over there to 910. Right, that's how it works, right? Not too. Once you get it down, not too hard. And then we get this weird number right here, 893.33333. I will first off, I'm gonna go ahead and put zeros in throughout the rest of this team for here, just to make things a little easier, so it doesn't show the divide by 0. Because then what I want to do is I'm gonna scroll down and do this. Now let me actually show this again. I don't want to jump the gun on this one. So in the bottom right corner here, you can kind of see there is this little square, right? And that little square is, if you're doing this over a large group of people or a large group of data sets, this square is your best friend. Because what this is going to do is it's going to copy this formula down directly, right? So what that means is that if I scroll down, if I copy down 1, it is going to take Brett's averages, right? If you look at the actual new formula, it's average B3 to F3, right? So it does change what the formula is looking at. And I guess something I'll show you guys is how to make sure it doesn't do that, because there's sometimes you do want data sets that pull from a certain number every time. Anyways, so then we take this box. I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going to scroll all the way down until we have a team full of zeros. Now that's not nice. So let's give them some scores. Let's just hey, we got a nice, very balanced team. They are just it's crazy how that happens, right? They're all one question off from each other. So then you can see it manifest over here, right? Let's go put some other numbers in. This is a hard one, you know. This is a more difficult test, or they didn't study. Who knows? Usually it's just more difficult, right? So let's just I'm just plugging some numbers in because I want to show you guys how to deal with this bad boy over here. These things happening here. 740, 720, 700. Okay. Now, this looks gross. I don't like this. Personally, I don't like my numbers nasty like this. Well, it's pretty simple. Up here, you got the decreased decimal places and the increased decimal places part. Increased decimal places would keep adding 3s, but I don't want that. I'm going to decrease decimal places. I like to go to I believe the 10th. I forget which one's which at this point because it's been forever since I taught math. I like doing that. Keeps it nice and clean without giving away too much information. So there you go, right? There's our team totals right there. Okay, that's great. That's really good. Now, then if I wanted to take the sum total of my team score, right? Take the top 2 in each category. I would press, and I'm going to do down here, I'm going to press another equal sign. And they're already making suggestions. That's pretty good. I actually didn't know they did that. They already have the suggestion for what I want. Which is awesome. The sum. I would like to do a sum. I'm going to type it out though for you guys. Sum G2 to G10. Alright, so that's what I like about this is it doesn't pull all this earlier stuff. It is just strictly the G column. I press go. 7320, that's way too high because I forgot to take the top 2, right? So that doesn't necessarily work that well, and what happens here then is eventually a lot of times if you do want that score, you kind of have to go in and manually press. So if I do equal sign, right, I take Abe's score, I then press the plus sign, plus Brett's score, take the plus sign, Delilah's score, because again we're not going to count our H3, take plus sign, Esteban plus sign, Grace plus sign, Humberto plus sign, and then we got our team score, which is alright. That's not bad. 49-40. And there's our team score. Now, I don't think I want to show you guys just yet how you can make this a little simpler. It's, well, not simpler, but it pulls the right information every time. But it's a complicated formula, so I'm not going to do that just yet. Okay, hey, so that's how you make a very simple score sheet. Now, my personal belief is that most teams don't necessarily need a gajillion score sheets. They just need one. But if you want to have gajillion score sheets, like I like to do, because I'm obsessed with Google Excel and Google Sheets. I believe they make the world run. I'm going to open up a new sheet. I'm going to open up a sheet 2. You can't see it down here because I'm going to have it blacked out by the bottom crawl thing, or the bottom blackout. But I created a new sheet down here with a plus sign. And I have another sheet for A, Brett, Casey, Delilah, Esteban, Fiona, Grace, Humberto, and Ivy. Now, what I'm going to fill out this top row with is the categories, right? Math, music, eco, lit, art, sci. So I think is the order we tend to do stuff in Texas. And then I'll get a total. So yeah. Alright, so yeah, this is kind of a score sheet to show how our team's doing and everything together. For total on this particular one, since I want to see the total score of the team, I'm going to just do sum, D2 to H2, and it says 0, which is correct. There's nothing on that sheet at this moment. Okay. Now we've been doing music, and this is where it can get a little not complicated, but if you don't do this right, it will get very messy very quickly. So I'm going to press the equal sign, like I said to do every time, and then I'm going to, without touching anything else, I'm going to click back into sheet 1, the first sheet I did, and I'm going to click into G2, and I'm going to press enter, and look, it's transferred over. And then I can just scroll down again, and then look at that, we got a whole team. Of course, I got to do this thing over here. I don't like all these data points, decimal points. Yeah, there you go. Now, just make sure you don't touch anything superfluous with this, because it'll really screw up the sheet. This is a little fragile transition of data. The amount of times I've had to go in and correct stuff because I've misclicked here is incalculable. Or it's an infinite amount, because it'll happen again. All right, so there you go. There's our music score for our team, at least on the first 3 tests, and they're doing all right. They're doing good. Okay. Now to do rankings. Let's say I want to rank all 9, right? Let's say I want to rank all 9. So there's a couple ways to do it. You can do by average. You can do by you can do if 2 people are tied, there will be one where they count them as like a 4.5, right? If they're tied at 4th place or something like that. And then there's also just straight up, you just take the top number, don't worry about it. And that's the one I tend to do. Why is this? Let me see real quick. There we go. Okay. So I think it's rank average. I think is the one I want. The other one's rank.eq. So how to do ranks? Equals rank.average, and this is the exact same formula as it is in Excel, right? None of this is proprietary to Google Sheets. And I want to rank the value G2, right? And then I press comma because it needs 3 things here, right? As you can see, value, data, and is ascending, which I still confuse all the time, but it's a quick fix, so it's not a big deal. I want to rank G2 in the values of G2 to G10. I want to see what placements Abe is compared to the rest of his peers, right? If you don't like yourself, you can do this manually, right? Every time somebody switches places, right? Oh, well, let me go in and change the ranks real quick. I don't like doing that. It's not fun. The magic of sheets is what is truly fun. So G2 is the data point. Then how do I click my my other data? And well, let's just start with what we did last time. G2 to G10, right? Easy. Let's go with true. I think that's fine. Nope, we want false. False on is ascending. That gets in first place, right? Now I'm going to scroll down, and you're going to see here something has gone awry. There's 2 firsts and a bunch of seconds. Well, what happened there? Well, what happened is that the formula continued to shift down 1 cell each time, or 1 row each time. All right, so you can see here, the rank is from G3 and G3 to G11. You can see the purple outline. That's not what we want. This one is G4 to G12. That's definitely not what we want. It's now taking our team score, and no wonder they're all second, right? And so on and so forth. So what we want to do is this one took me took me years to figure this one out. My mom told me about this one. She was like, "Yeah, you should do this," and I was like very mad at myself because I didn't realize this is how this worked. But you wouldn't know how it works if you haven't done this before. It is all about the money. You take the dollar sign, you put it in front of the thing you want to freeze, right? Now, what I mean by that is that you have to put it both in front of the letter and the number. Right? So, for example, if I just do the numbers here, right, it will only freeze based on the freezing it in the row, right? Which, okay, great, but it's still got my problem, right? Right, or excuse me, in the column, right? It only freezes it in the column. So if I was to move this out, right, it's kept the G aspect of it, right? It's not ranking H, which is weird, but it has kept the G value, which is what I asked for according to Google Sheets. So what I want to do then is I actually want to put a $ also in front of the number. Now, on this one, I probably only just want it in front of the number. It's going to be in the same column each time, and not the same row. But I don't care. I'd rather just be safe and just freeze everything. And so now that I've done this, I expand this and look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They are in their ranks. This is great. And then just to kind of prove that this is true, if I give Ivy 1,000 on the next quiz, she jumps up to 6th. Look at that. I don't do anything. Sheets is a wonderful thing. Okay. So yeah, that's I think a pretty good primer for Sheets in Excel. I don't think there's too much more you need to know at this point. You can really get complicated with this, or you can keep it super easy. Keep it all on one sheet. We did that for years. Keep it on one sheet, and then when you are done with that particular subject, go to another sheet, right? Nice and easy. Totally up to you. But yeah, that I think about does what I need to tell you guys, talk about with Excel and with how this stuff works. It's super fun. You can really mess around with this a lot. When I created my Texas Best All-Time Teams, it was all in Excel, right? I took tons of data points in Excel, and I mean a ton. It was 40 to 8. It was like 80 points per year, almost every year, and then comparing each of those against every year that occurred, each on different sheets, and it was very fun, but also very exhausting and a lot of work. But helped me also, continue to fine tune my skills in Excel. And this is very base level stuff. If you want to get real crazy with it, you can do things like standard deviation. You can do things like I don't even know. Like, I don't know what is capable in Excel. I did not take an Excel course in college. I learned this all through just working with it. So I don't think my skills are necessarily a marketable skill in terms of like, oh hey, yeah, I can goof around in Excel. Here, look at this. I can make an average and rank it. I don't think anybody would hire me based off of that, but it's I dabble. So anyway, that's gonna do it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I had a good time talking to you guys about how this works. Again, as always, YouTube, Xathlon channel, Twitter @Academic Xathlon, Facebook Academic Decathlon Central by Xathlon. Lots of good stuff going on there. If you guys have any emails, send us an email. Shoot us an email at I forget the email here. academicxathlon@gmail.com. Sounds right to me. I'll check, and I'll in the crawler at the bottom I'll have the real one. We love hearing from you guys. This entire video was brought up because somebody was like, hey, I don't know how to do Excel spreadsheets, and I was like, oh yeah, that's probably something I should talk about, because I talk about it a lot, because I think they're really important. I guess one other thing I just want to throw out there, like what we do it in Google Drive, and then we share all that with the students so they can see their updated scores in real time. It's one of the things that our kids love literally every day. After we're done quizzing, we've actually after we're done quizzing, they're just like, hey, where are the scores? Put the scores up. I want to see your scores. I want to see where I'm at. And it's really awesome. It's really cool to see them that competitive. This year we've actually stopped putting it up immediately after the quizzes, because we need them to do other stuff, and rather than not worry about that at the moment, we don't do it in class anymore. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.